A lot of times we've seen it. I mean, I've seen it firsthand where you see guys on campus and they're one way, innocent as all get out, and then on game day they just turn into this maniac fan, face painted, you know. They are the E of a whole trail of people, and that's what sports brings out of people. And that person then turns into this, you know, rambunctious individual that's no holds barred and filtering nothing that comes through his teeth. And I'm like, hold on, wait, when is enough enough? You know what I'm saying? Being a fan like that to support your team is one thing, but I guarantee you that Yusuf felt disrespected in a manner that, you know, it needs to be highlighted, right? No matter how it was portrayed or whatever, certain things should be penalized to the highest degree, because you see athletes like LeBron, you see athletes like Russell Wilson, Steph Curry's of the world that actually go through certain things, and some people are mentally strong enough to block it out, right? You only can imagine, you know, the rigors of what the likes of Jackie Robinson went through. But at the same time, we live in a day and time where access is king. You know, people want behind the scenes, you know, access to players. You know, now you see arenas, now you see stadiums that it literally you walk through lounges to get on the court. You walk through lounges to kind of get on the field. And what fans may say is pretty much whatever the hell they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody retaliated in a way that is like, oh my God, somebody need to get him. He crazy. He out of control. But at the same time, who's to say the fans aren't out of control? And you hear about all different types of, you know, fans from many different places: Seattle, Philadelphia, Atlanta, New Orleans. All these places have very emphatic fans that believe in their team, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. And that's cool. Where does the line get crossed that just as much as you're upholding these players to a standard to act professional at all costs, where does the fan have to act professional at all costs too? Because above all, athlete, no athlete, entertainer or no entertainer, we're still human beings at the end of the day. So, like I said, my rule is if you're not going to say it to me in the grocery store, you shouldn't say that shit to me on the court, on the field. Because if the situation was flipped and there wasn't no stands to kind of go through, if it wasn't no, you know, barriers to kind of go through, you'll get your damn ass whooped. Like, real talk. And we're talking about a person who trains at a high level a lot, and, you know, they get paid to do one thing, but they also have access to do other things too. So I say that. I'll give you another example. You know, I spoke about, you know, Scottie Pippen and Spike Lee. I saw that in the Last Dance documentary, and that's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like we live for that as fans. And when I sit back and watch sports, you know, with my family, those are some of the things that line necessarily wasn't crossed, but it still was something that I wonder what they said. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember very vivid when, you know, the Bulls played in Madison Square Garden and Scottie Pippen had the most disrespectful dunk I've ever seen in my life. He dunked on an individual, and then he proceeded to, you know, walk down, you know, courtside, and then told Spike Lee, man, sit your ass down, right? And Spike Lee being an entertainer, he knows, like, you know, whether it was disrespectful or respectful or not, it was still entertainment at the end of the day. And we have to know when that line is crossed from being entertaining and being disrespectful, because we aren't animals, right? We aren't these people that are you know, shell shocked or mentally, you know, bulletproof to hear something and we not retaliate to something. You don't go to no zoo and you don't poke the bear and realize when you get your ass killed or mauled and you say, oh man, I didn't even do nothing. Where was the tamer or the lion tamer when everything was kind of going on? But you prompted that to happen. So no different than when you're at a game and you're saying, hey, so-and-so, XYZ. And everybody's information is known online. Like you Google Cam Newton and whatever, it's there. So personal information is at your fingertips at any given point. Who you're dating, who's your baby mama, who's your wife, who's your brother, who's your sister, who's your friends, what's going on in the current news, and you can get heckled for it. So for me, it's like, when do we put the foot down with allowing heckling to be going or to go too far, right? So, with that being said, man, I just wanted to, kind of put everybody on notice to, understand that this is a real issue. I don't care if you pay thousands of dollars to be behind the bench and you say something that's worth like, hold on, bro, like, no, I'm not that. You're not gonna call me no boy. You're not gonna call me outside my name. You know what I'm saying? A racial slur where that happens a lot more than it gets highlighted enough. And this is not a black and white thing. This is not a race to race thing. This is a human to human thing where it's a real issue. And I think these leagues need to start holding fans accountable to that, because it does tarnish the sport to a degree. Because if you don't want the players to retaliate, or if that's in their contract not to retaliate about certain things, then you have to also have the respect from the fan base to be able to say, hey, you can't say this. And if you do, it has to be a penalty that's worth not doing, And if that be the case, I'll use an example about murder. Like, people don't murder people because they know if they murder somebody, they're going to go to jail for a long time, outside of the agony of that family that has to go through. So, what I'm saying? With that being said, that's the only thing that I really wanted to kind of bring to the forefront, man. And I would love for you to kind of, voice your opinion, leave a comment, like it, of course, and tell me how you feel. Because this world that we live in, I think sports does so much for us. It brings so many different people together. It unifies so many different people for that time stint that we're going through. Look at how many people who are in retrospect strangers come together to watch a game for March Madness. How many people come together to watch the Super Bowl? How many people come together to watch the World Series? And during that time, you don't think about sexism. You don't think about prejudiceness. You don't think about, if this person is a racist. If your team that I have a jersey on, you have the same type of jersey on, and that person hits a home run, you're looking around just high-fiving people left and right. And that's the beautiful thing about sports. And we want to keep it that way. So for that, it has to be respected on all fronts, not just the players, but as the fans, to protect the players, for them to be able to do what they get paid to do.